Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing today? Here's another example. My name is David Russell. I'm a realtor in Dallas-Fort Worth. Here's another example of an agent running interference on a listing that potentially cost their seller an offer. And it doesn't have to be this way. I don't understand. Let me tell you the quick story. First of all, if you're listing your house, you have an agent, make sure that you get appointments approved. Approve the appointments or give alternatives. In this particular case, again, I just did a video on this last week and it just happened again over the weekend. This is agent to confirm the appointment, not the appointment service. There's no notations of any restrictions or any requirements to show the house. So I text the agent and ask him to approve a showing time. He says, can't do it, and I need proof of funds. And I said, okay, well, I can get you proof of funds, but when can we get in? He said, we need more notice. So, well, we have all day. He said, that's not enough notice. I said, how much notice do you need? He said, 24 hours would be great. I said, okay, that won't work. This buyer's flying out of town tomorrow. So thanks so much. We'll just do a drive-by. Well, I asked him, can we at least walk the property? It's 2.5 acres. It is an old home from the 80s. It's not a, so the value's in the land, not the house. And he says, no. You need an appointment, I need proof of funds. I said, okay. So we just did a drive-by and we're standing out in front of the house talking about the neighborhood and this lot. And we're looking at the lines from the street. And the owner drives up, opens the gate. He goes, can I help you? Are you guys looking at the house? I said, well, we tried to, but we couldn't get an approval. He said, what do you mean? I said, the agent wouldn't approve it. Said he needed more notice, he needed proof of funds, and he didn't approve it. So he said, well, that's not right, and that's not acceptable. Something to that effect. He was not happy with the agent not getting the appointment approved. He goes, y'all come in, tour the land. He said, I need a little notice on the house because I got 5 kids and the house is a little messy. I said, great, we don't need the house. We just need the land. No problem. He actually had a great conversation with the prospective buyer, and they kind of talked about possibly some different types of terms and things that would be beneficial to both of them, an extended lease, so on. And it worked. It was a great conversation, and that property is now one of the top 2 or 3 on the buyer's list, where the agent was running interference and preventing us from getting in. Now, sometimes sellers put these requirements in, but in this case, he to us, he said, I don't understand why that's like that. Come see the land. So we were able to get in, and it's one of the top 2 or 3 choices for that buyer that he's investigating potentially to make an offer on. So the moral of that story is, if you're listing your house, my recommendation is you have the appointment service schedule the appointment, unless there's extenuating circumstances and you've got some specific showing criteria. Sometimes that happens, especially in higher end houses. You know, here we're talking about multi-million-dollar properties and homes. There's a little more sensitivity to privacy and such. I understand that. However, if your agent doesn't even call and ask, hey, these people are from out of town, I know it's short notice, is there any chance? At least make the call. In this case, they didn't make the call, they ran interference, and they potentially lost an offer. Now, I don't know that the offer will come in. He may choose to go a different direction, but at this point, it's in the top running. And it was almost eliminated because the agent wouldn't get us on the property. My name is David Russell. If there's anything I can do for you, buying, selling, owning real estate, call, text, or email me. Make it a great day.